guys, welcome back. First of all, I just want to say thank you to all of your support and love and comments on the last couple of videos that I've posted. I can't even begin to tell you, how much that means to me, and it's a wonderful, wonderful community that we have out there on YouTube, and I think sometimes that gets lost in some of the negative, that seems to be a bigger deal than all of the positive. So I just wanted to say thank you again to everybody for being part of the positive. And second, we went to Chicago this weekend for a long weekend for our anniversary. So thank you guys again, like I said, for all the sweet comments on the video that I did recreating my wedding makeup. I appreciated that so much, and we had a wonderful, wonderful time there. Yes, before you even ask, it was hella freezing. It was like 2, feels like -12, but it was so much fun. We got to see some people. We got to go exploring. It was amazing. So what I want to do today is actually an eyeshadow look that was inspired by the Chicago skyline. I don't know how many of you out there that are watching this actually have been to Chicago, live in Chicago, know what I'm talking about, but we were leaving the Shedd Aquarium, which is kind of set up on like a small little hill, and when you leave and it's dark, you have a wonderful, beautiful view of part of the Chicago skyline. And if I am tech savvy enough, I will have a picture of what I'm talking about right here. In the skyline, what really stood out to me were the purples and the golds, and we stayed pretty much right across the river from the International, which was it had this giant purple dome on top, and it was almost that same vibrant purple that you can see in that picture. While we were riding the train there one day, I thought, wow, it just really inspired me. The colors were so gorgeous, so wanted to try and see if I could recreate something like that on my eyes. Not sure. We'll find out. So I've already primed my lids with my Catrice concealer, and again used my Laura Geller Balance and Brighten powder to set it all down. This time, instead of going in for all the browns and the neutrals and stuff that I usually do, I'm actually going to go into the Kat Von D Pastel Goth palette and go ahead and start off with this gray here in the corner. And I'm going to kind of start off lightly with this, as I'm going to be using this one for my transition shade. Even though I'm done putting this gray down as my transition shade, I'm going to hold on to this palette and just kind of put it off to the side, because I think what I want to do later, just to kind of even everything out and get rid of any harsh lines, is I'm going to go back into the gray, and there's a white shade there, kind of mix them and buff all the edges out. But next, what I want to do is hop over to the Jaclyn Hill palette and go in to this really dark brown here, and just do this in the deepest parts of the crease before I start getting into the black. This is the last color that I'm doing before I just hop right into trying to make night sky on my eyes. Now that I have that dark brown where I want it, it's time to go in with the black. So back into the Jaclyn Hill palette, and I'm going to use the black down here in this corner. This is one of the most just pigmented and easy to blend black shades that I own. And I'm going to slowly start building this up just on the lid, so we can still see some of that gradient that is left from the other shadows. The black shade is down and it's blended somewhat to my liking. I think I'm going to need a little more blending on the side, but next I'm going to go ahead and cut the middle of my lid with some concealer. Same one that I have been using the last couple of videos. This is my Catrice concealer. And I just have a little flat brush with a nice fine edge. And I think I need a mirror. Better. And I'm going to cut this all the way up to the crease. Now that the center of the lid has concealer on it, I want to set it real quick, but I'm going to go back into the Pastel Goth palette and use this purple shade called Dope right here, just to very lightly set all this in the center in place. On top of that purple base, I'm going in with a Colourpop Super Shock Shadow in Dance Party. This is like the glitteriest, I can't say that word, glitteriest purple that I could find. Look at how gorgeous that is. And I'm just going to run my finger in this. Oh man, that's pretty. I need to get closer. And tap this all over that matte purple shade that we just laid down. And before I go any further, I'm just going to take whatever was left on the brush that I used to do the black shade and just blend these edges out so we don't have any harsh lines left. Because I'm always just a little extra when it comes to anything glittery, I went ahead and used my NYX glitter primer right on the center of my lids on top of that Colourpop shadow. And now I'm going to take the AOA Studio Crystal Powder in Tanzanite, which is basically, it looks like a crushed version of that beautiful Colourpop shade. And I'm going to take a little flat brush and just tap a little bit of this glitter in the center to make it pop just a bit more. With the glitter down, that's my cue to go ahead and do the rest of my makeup. So I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera and I will be right back. And we're back and the rest of my makeup is done. I was going to go ahead and do the lower lash line on camera, but it was actually quite boring. It was just the black shade smudged a little bit, and then I took that same glittery Super Shock shadow and just ran it right in the middle with my finger, and I used a gold liner on the lower waterline and also did a gold highlight on the inner corners to represent all the other lights on the Chicago skyline. I don't know if you've ever noticed, but I tend to shy away from really, really dark looks because there's a very fine line between it looking really awesome and really muddy and terrible on fair skin. So you kind of have to tread lightly, and that's why these tutorials take me so long the darker it is, because I sit here very carefully, slowly building up the color until it's at the intensity that I want, rather than end up looking like, I just got punched in the face or something. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Let me know down in the comments below if there's something else that you want to see, something that I may not have thought of, something you saw online that you think I might be able to do a pretty good job with. whatever you want. And don't forget, like always, if you like these videos, give them a big thumbs up and hit that subscribe button down below before you leave. I hope you guys are having a great weekend, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye guys!